Madden Football is the home of the Super Bowl, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Ravens and the Niners, and it comes your way next.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Tonight, it is all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Baltimore Ravens taking on the NFC champions, the San Francisco 49ers. Alongside my good friend Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Well, CD, the Ravens have perennially been in the conversation. This year, they knock down that door, they win the AFC, and here they are in the Super Bowl.
And remember, they've won in recent years. Super Bowl 35 in Tampa, Super Bowl 47 in New Orleans. What a stretch they could put together if they could claim another title here.
Meanwhile, for the 49ers, they were one of the heavy favorites to win the NFC, and they were able to get it done, and now they look for that elusive 6th Super Bowl title.
Remember, after going 5-0 in their first 5 appearances here, they've lost 2 straight. Super Bowl 47 to the Ravens in New Orleans and Super Bowl 54 to Kansas City in Miami. They'd love to start another streak like they had in the 80s when they won 4 Super Bowl titles.
The final act of the 2023 season is at hand. What a spectacle in Las Vegas. We're off in Super Bowl 58. And he returns this to the 22. The number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
And he spoke very eloquently and passionately on Media Day about what a victory here would mean for him. He knows this just isn't any other game. This is the kind of game that stays with you for a lifetime. If there's anyone on this field tonight who's most ready for this moment, I think it's this man right here.
Real quick.
Edwards now on 1st and 10. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series, they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. Leading them out, someone who took the league by storm last year is the most famous Mr. Irrelevant ever. From Iowa State, it's Brock Purdy.
And there are a lot of quarterbacks who had terrific careers. Think about guys like Phillip Rivers, Randall Cunningham, Dan Fouts, Warren Moon. But they never got to a Super Bowl. Yet here he is in his second NFL season, already getting his chance. And we harken back to Dan Marino, another superstar, made it in his second year, lost the game, and never made it back again.
Here's Purdy on 1st and 10. That's caught by Jennings. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll be stopped up at the 26 after a gain of only a couple.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times. And what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
3rd and 3. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards. Strong start by this defense. 3rd and short, they go with a run. Stonewalled for no gain.
I played for a guy who always talked about setting tones and meeting force with force. That felt like it on that play, didn't it? And they met it in a big way and won. What a great job by the defense.
Wisnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. It's taken to the 26. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. They'll send a tight end in motion right. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Flowers going to go in motion right. Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep. And he's just going to run right into that big old defensive end. And that play going nowhere. Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses. And this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
And looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted. Isaiah Oliver with the INT. Inside the 10. And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. Well, this defense, they've been terrific all year, and they come through with a pick 6 here on the game's biggest stage.
Perfect descriptor there, because we have seen this time and time again. This defense, their ability to take the ball away from teams, they definitely have a nose for the football, and it pays off again on that play.
Jake Moody now for the point after. And the 49ers grab a 7-0 lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. The dangerous Hill now to return. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Back to the air, Jackson following the pick six. Oh, right on the heels of the pick six, another ball intercepted. Picked up by Charvarius Ward. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
Purdy looking to throw on 1st down here. And he will find his man Samuel. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the 49ers will add to their first quarter lead here in this Super Bowl. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, and we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. Moody good with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. So after the made field goal by Moody, he's back out to kick this one away. Returning it, Hill. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Been a nightmare of a first quarter for him. 2 interceptions, 1 return for a touchdown. As he starts again here, 1st and 10. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll start out here with the option left. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. 1st down. So this play, you know, until recently, only something you'd probably expect to see in a college game, but running quarterbacks are certainly in vogue, and this turned into a big play.
And you and I both know that for a long time, coaches worried about their quarterbacks taking too much punishment, running plays like this, and they still worry about it. But when you can break up big chunks of yardage like that, it's worth the risk. Plus, you're coaching that quarterback to see those guys coming and get down before the big hit occurs.
Here's 2nd and 10. They run once more with Edwards. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves them with 3rd and 5.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Here's Jackson. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Tucker's kick is good, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. Well, I don't know if you ever go into a game expecting to attempt a kick of 62 yards. Charles, not only attempt it, but make it one of the longest kicks that we've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm not sure you ever go into a game expecting to kick one of this distance, but all the better kickers, they do dream of it, and they show what they can do in practice and convince their coaches to give them a chance. That one surely paid off.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. The Niners set to take over on offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. He's got daylight. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles. Gain some additional yardage.
Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. Linebacker Patrick Queen bringing him down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
That one complete to his receiver, Jennings. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on third. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. 41 yards rushing for him now in the opening quarter of this Super Bowl.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Purdy's throw pulled in by Kittle. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Third down, here's McCaffrey. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down. That brings us to the end of one in Super Bowl 58. Much more to come from Las Vegas after this. It's the 49ers with the early lead. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Welcome back to the date on the calendar we circle every year. Super Bowl Sunday. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis here with you as we get set to begin quarter 2. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Here's 2nd and 7. Throwing here, Purdy. This will be caught just inside the 10. They'll give him 4 yards there. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
He'll get this out right here to McCaffrey. And the 49ers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another 1st down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
Oh, how about this on 1st and goal? And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. Oh, able to avoid him. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Christian McCaffrey taking it in from 7 yards away. And the 49ers continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line, and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on 1st down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Moody good with the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And the last play on the drive, the touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey. So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Jackson going to give this one to Edwards. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Jackson now. And that'll be caught by the big tight end, Andrews. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
They'll go with Hill here on first down. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On the counter, it's Edwards. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Now it's Jackson. Underneath here to Hill. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
And he hits the upright, but it caroms in anyway. Boy, plenty of distance there as he banks it in. And that'll get the deficit down to 15. So put 3 on the board. A little bit of a hook on the driver that time. Looked a little bit like you, Charles, over on the 8th at Windermere.
You know me too well, partner, except that he got his to hit a tree and kick back into the fairway.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. So a 6-carry drive the last go-around, touchdown on the end of it. We'll see if they can duplicate that here.
I think that they would like to. I know every runner that we've ever met would love to carry the ball more and more and more. In fact, we keep a ball in the booth just for demonstration purposes.
You're holding it right now.
I'm going to give it to you. Is it heavy? Is it that heavy?
No, it's pretty light.
It's pretty light, right? So keep giving it to him and let him do his work. It's not going to slow him down.
If it's light for me, it's definitely light for him. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
So from the 26-yard line, here's 2nd and 6. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Patrick Queen, he brought the pressure on the blitz, and he gets there for a loss of 12. I think this defense, Charles, realizing the deficit they're facing, they're going to have to step up and make more plays like we just saw there.
Yeah, and those are the type of plays that can focus a defense because, as we know, they've had their trouble so far in this one.
but they just proved to themselves that they can get to him, and I expect them to continue to bring that type of pressure in order to try and turn around their fortunes.
The Niners on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowski to punt this one away. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Take it at the 37. A punt of 46, a return of 5. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. They'll run with Edwards here to begin the drive. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd and 7. Again, it's Edwards. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 63 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Two minutes on the clock in the 2nd quarter of this Super Bowl. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. It's Hill, complete. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
To throw is Jackson. Got his tight end. That's complete. It's Andrews. And the Ravens are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Throwing is Jackson. Setting up the screen here to Edwards. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? One of the tight ends comes in motion. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Edwards will score. Touchdown, Baltimore.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. He's got it. They're back within a score. It's 8, 21-13. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it was polished off by the Gus Edwards touchdown run. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Christian McCaffrey and his 49er teammates back onto the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. On first down, Purdy. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. A beautiful fake. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
And that's not a play that you see all that often at the start of a drive, but some teams, they don't mind doing it. And that one, well sold by the offensive lineman. They showed the pass, and then they got out into space, able to get some good blocks downfield and allow the play to be successful.
And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So it's halftime here on sports' grandest stage in the Super Bowl. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, back to you two in just a bit. But first, welcome everyone to downtown Orlando and our EA Sports Halftime Report. We saw the former All-Pro Christian McCaffrey up to his old tricks in that first half. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. This taken in right around the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The 49er offense set to go to begin quarter number 3. And I think you'd have to say their coaching staff, all things considered, had to be pleased with their performance in the first half of this Super Bowl.
Definitely pleased, doing their best not to show it to their team, of course, because as you and I both know, their mantra all season long has been finish. Get the job done. They know how close they are to lifting that trophy. One more solid half of football, and they can do exactly that.
Purdy to throw it on first down. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack. This defense coming out after the half, and if that plays any indicator, Charles, maybe a little refreshed and refocused here for quarters 3 and 4.
Yeah, they did really well on that one. That's exactly what they need to keep doing if they want to change their fortunes in this game.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Now Purdy. This will be caught at Samuel. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 27 yards there, a first down. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. From the 43, here's 2nd and 5. Purdy. And trying to get it to Samuel, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Brandon Stevens. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind, and we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. Now they just got a little help from their defense forcing the turnover. Now can they make that pay off in points?
They need to, partner. They're down on the scoreboard. Need to take advantage of those opportunities, and this is a good one right in front of them.
Jackson firing quickly out wide for Bateman. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. From the 35, here's 2nd and 3. Up the middle, it's Edwards. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
They'll run the option on 3rd and short yardage. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the 1st down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I've got this. I'll take it. I'll pick it up, and let's keep moving. Get the 1st down, get a new set, and let's start over.
Up the middle, here's Edwards. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this.
Let's go.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. This is caught. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson hooking up with Mark Andrews. And the Ravens are back within a couple of the lead.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
Jackson and the Ravens still on the field. They'll go for 2. They'll look to throw. And they don't get it. They tried for the 2-point conversion there, but unsuccessful.
They made the decision to go for 2. They didn't get it. They remained down by 2 points. Should they have kicked it there?
A 3rd quarter, I'm okay with it. Maybe 1st or 2nd, you don't. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, again, I keep coming back to I don't like to chase a lot of points.
Yeah.
But I also don't know what kicking an extra point being down 1 does for me.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to want to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster. Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Shotgun now with Purdy. Got a man right side. It's McCaffrey. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
On first down, it's Purdy. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Purdy will set up to throw it here. A quick throw there is incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Again, it's Purdy to throw it. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 34. Now a give right side McCaffrey. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. 85 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. Purdy looking to throw on first down here. This one caught by Kittle. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Play action, now Purdy. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Brandon Ayuk taking it in from 2 yards out, and the 49ers are able to extend their lead. This feels like something we'd see more commonly, CD, in a college game. They give it to the receiver down here in the red zone, but it winds up successful.
Yeah, partner, I think you'd think it's less likely to find running space to the edge down here close to the end zone where things are so condensed. But a lot of times you end up focusing on the running backs, and they're able to slip it to the receiver, and it resulted in a touchdown.
Moody good with the extra point, and that makes this a 9-point game. So here's Moody back out there now to send this one away. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
Flowers going to go in motion right. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
From the 25, here's a 2nd and 8. To the right side, this is Edwards. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9. Make it now 3 tackles for a loss in this game, 1 for each quarter.
And for a guy who played defense in college, I can just tell you that he's feeling very satisfied right now by what he's doing. But he's elated because he knows what he's doing is helping his team win the game right now. Making some big-time plays, getting into the offense's backfield and spilling everything.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down. Oh, Lamar Jackson just so electric, Charles, when he gets into open space, and we saw Exhibit A right there.
You know something? I'm standing up here in the booth next to you watching the play. He buckled my ankles on that one as well. It doesn't matter whether you're actually on the field trying to chase him or you're just watching him play. This guy is sheer excitement.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. Flushed out right. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against a front that's prepared for him to try and take off.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. And now Jackson will look to throw it. A short throw caught by Andrews. It'll be a gain of 5. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Jackson from the shotgun. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Ravens 1st down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Meanwhile, Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews. Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. We are through 3 quarters of play here from Allegiant Stadium in Super Bowl 58. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. 2nd down and a little more than a yard here. And we're back in the Super Bowl. Time to decide who gets to hoist that Lombardi trophy as we begin the 4th and final quarter of action. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
They'll bring a tight end in motion. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Javon Hargrave, the D tackle, getting the sack.
On any 1st and goal, the real estate to work with for the offense is really cut down, and the defense knows it. So they often bring heat and pressure, which they did on this play. Got him down for a loss. Not a big one, but any loss of yardage in this position is tough for an offense.
On 2nd down, it's Edwards. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try through.
And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Ravens have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a 1-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long, because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense, because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he returns this to the 22. As San Francisco's offense returns to the field. And they've seen their lead nearly extinguished after that last score. But bottom line, they are still on top with the football. And a touchdown on this drive would really put them in position A. Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line. 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Edwards now on 1st and 10. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Dre Greenlaw in there on the tackle. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. On the option right is Jackson. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And that's another big-time run. And it sure looks like the leverage game is being won by the offensive line. They're the low man on just about every snap, and they're winning, pushing back the defensive front and creating great space for their runners.
Here's Jackson. And he's got it. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Second and goal from the 1. Here's Jackson to throw. And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there with his 3rd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Ravens have regained the lead in the second half of this Super Bowl. So from 3 scores down, these guys have fought all the way back to grab the lead. And I'll just tell people what happened when they went up 3 scores. I wrote on your paper 2 words, game over, and now I'm eating those words. I was wrong.
A little salt, a little pepper, goes down pretty easily.
I will admit when I make a mistake.
Well, it looked like it was going that way. This is one of those paging Frank Reich moments, and I can't believe I just brought that up because Frank Reich at Maryland in college did it to my Tennessee Volunteers, and that was a big reason why my team lost.
Sounds like you still harbor some pain from that game.
You know, we still got a little time to work it out with the doctor.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. Now, the bad news for them, they've seen that cushion they once had totally evaporate, and they're working from behind. The good news, they now have the opportunity to regain the lead right back. Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line. 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. Purdy with it on 3rd and long. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Niners 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw, Purdy. And a little floater there is incomplete.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
Second and 10. McCaffrey running up the middle. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. A brief pause in the action here as they tend to an injury. That's George Kittle shaken up on that last play. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this.
This is your game, baby.
The Niners on third down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Purdy looking to throw. That is caught. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. 107 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in this Super Bowl.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Throwing here, Purdy. That's over the middle and caught by Ayuk. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Purdy now to throw. This is Jennings. So the completion gets him just a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Now Purdy. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Quick hands that time to knock that one away. It sure looked like a short touchdown, but able to get a good break on the football and force the incompletion.
They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. This one tough. They need 9 yards on 3rd down. A give running left. It's McCaffrey. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. He needed 9. He got 8. And that's going to leave him with a 4th and 1 on their side of the field.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Purdy, big 4th down play. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. So the failure to convert, no doubt, really hurts. But this one's not over. A good chunk of time on the clock and the timeouts.
Yeah, not only do they have the timeouts, as you just noted, they're going to get an extra one with the 2-minute warning. And that's going to help in big way. So in a sense, they have 4 timeouts in their pocket. The big thing, stopping them on defense now. They can't let them get a first down and make them use their timeouts and get a fresh set of downs. They've got to stop them right here. And if so, they've still got an opportunity.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Now it's Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt, and we have reached the 2-minute warning. So Purdy and the Niners down by 5, 2:01 remaining. A touchdown could win the Super Bowl as they've got a 1st down. On 1st down, Purdy. That's complete to the tight end, Werner. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Here comes 2nd down. To throw is Purdy. He's got the hook up downfield to Samuel. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Throwing, Purdy. That's caught by Werner, the tight end.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They've got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
Now 2nd and 4. Here's Purdy. Got a man. That's Ayuk. And the 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. Here's 1st down. Purdy to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Jennings. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. Here comes 2nd down at 5. Here's Purdy to throw. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Purdy to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute. What a game this has been, and what a drive that was, Charles, to take the lead here late in the fourth quarter.
And, partner, that's a job well done by everyone, from the players to the guys calling the plays. And if I may introduce just one downside to the mix, might be a little bit too much time left. Enough on the clock for a final last-ditch effort to try and steal this win away.
And it's incomplete, but a penalty flag is out. And this looks like pass interference. Let's see. So pass interference, the call there. Always, obviously, Charles, such a subjective call. You agree with the penalty?
Well, from where we're standing right now, I think the officials are tightening things up here in the second half. Maybe a defender gets away with that in the first, but this time the flag comes out, and I think it's a good call.
Purdy and the Niner offense, they'll stay on the field. They'll try to go for two here. They'll try and throw for it. And no, incomplete. They can't convert. So they tried to bump the lead up to a field goal. Instead, it stays at 1 here in the fourth. So after the made field goal by Moody, he's back out to kick this one away. The return man is Hill. Returning it, Hill. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And these guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit.
Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Isaiah Oliver with the INT. And into the end zone. A pick six for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. And so much for the game-winning 2-minute drive. I think that interception return there pretty much seals the deal.
And one thing to keep in mind, in this situation with the score that close, defense isn't backing off and just giving you easy throws. They're playing aggressively as well, and they end up picking that one off and sealing the deal for themselves.
Now Moody for the PAT. And with that, the lead is up to 8. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. This is 1st and 10. Jackson. Connecting with Hill. Oh, and a nice tackle, a 6-yard pickup, but they need more than that. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. Here's second down. Jackson to throw. Connecting with Aguilar. Now they do indeed get the timeout, so all is not lost. They'll have a chance for one final heave to the end zone. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Now Jackson. This to possibly force OT. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, they got the tip they were looking for but couldn't secure it. And this one's over. And the San Francisco 49ers will hoist the Lombardi Trophy as Super Bowl champions. And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that, because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their picture, that your name will be a part of it. That's got to be an incredible feeling, because it's been a long journey to get there, and now they get a chance to enjoy it.